Okay, now if the blue letter uses any one of these included translations by Aquila, Symmachus, and Theodotion, if they use any one of those or any Gnostic perversion of the translation of the Septuagint, then the blue letter uses a corrupt translation of the Septuagint. Okay, and you can't trust it. You can't believe in it. But this is all the information they give us. Okay? Frequently asked questions, what is the history of the Old Testament Apocrypha? And they go into the Septuagint, okay? So that's my information on the blue letter and what the Septuagint in which they use, okay? So let's go back here right quick and finish listening to what he's saying.
Right, you see it again here, Edomite. When you scroll down to the Septuagint, right, and you look at Doeg, it says Doeg ho pseudos, right? Now, what does the word pseudos mean, right?
Now, notice he's coming from the Septuagint, and I just finished reading some information on the Septuagint, okay, that according to this man, Dr. D.A. Waite, once again, states that it can be clearly seen that the Septuagint is inaccurate and inadequate and deficient as a translation, okay? And this is out the book Forever Settled by Dr. Jack Mormon, okay? So now, what Septuagint are they using, okay? Because according to this Bible translator or this Bible historian, D.A. Waite, he says that the Septuagint is inadequate and deficient to use as a translation. When you compare it to the Masoretic Hebrew text, it's deficient. It goes off. And you're trying to measure the Septuagint. What they're doing is trying to correct the Masoretic Hebrew text with the Septuagint. Okay? And the Masoretic Hebrew is a copy, not the original, but a copy of the originals. Okay? And if they try to say, and what they're saying is that the Septuagint is a copy of the original Hebrew text of the Old Testament too. So the Masoretic and the Septuagint should not disagree with one another. Why do they disagree? Something is wrong. So from my studies, you'll see that Septuagint is off. Okay? And plus the King James translators did not use the Septuagint. They used the Masoretic Hebrew text. Okay? Let me keep going.
Let's find out. This is from Wiktionary, right? And it says pseudos, ancient Greek etymology, pronunciation, blah, blah, blah. Etymology, from Syria. So who is Doeg? Well, when you go back to 1 Samuel 21, it should have read here in the English, now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg in Aramaean. So really, it should have been here Assyrian. Doeg and Assyrian.
No, it should have been Edomite, like it is. He's changing the words of the Most High. Okay, the scriptures say you shall not add or take away. You can't change the word of the Most High. It depends on what you believe as the Old Testament. Do you believe the Masoretic Hebrew text? Then believe it all. If you believe the Septuagint, then believe it all. In the history of these brothers, they switch off and on. Because I know before, a brother had proved to them that according to the Septuagint, that Job was an Edomite. And they stopped using it. Now they're starting to use it back again to try to say that the Edomites are really Syrians. Come on now.
All right, so Doeg was Syrian. He wasn't an Edomite. All right? And we're going to further prove that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back here. This is 1 Samuel 22 and 9. All right, just show you a few more. See, it says here, then answered Doeg the Edomite. All right, as you scroll on down here, right, it says what? Doeg or pseudos. What does the word pseudos mean? Pseudos, etymology from Syria. All right?
You notice he keep going to the Septuagint. The King James translators did not use the Septuagint. If we believe in the King James Bible, we believe in the Masoretic Hebrew text. We don't believe in the Septuagint. The Septuagint is, you can compare it, you can use it as a comparison, but not to establish your faith or belief in the Most High or Christ. Okay, it's just a comparison. Okay.
And that is right here, Syrian. All right, Pseudo-Syrian. So who is Doeg? Doeg is Syrian. All right, but when you read through all the different...
No, Doeg is an Edomite, according to the Masoretic Hebrew text and according to the King James Bible. Okay, he's an Edomite.
Bible dictionary that tells you that he was Idumean, he was an Edomite, and when you read in certain English translation, Spanish translation, they said that he was an Edomite. But then when you go to the Greek Septuagint, it tells you that he was Syrian.
Right. He don't give you one thing about him. He don't give you no history on the Septuagint. Well, what Septuagint was it? Where did it come from? The origin of this Septuagint. He has to give that information because they said there was a Septuagint during the 3rd century BC that came before Christ, and then it was more Septuagints that came around right after Christ, okay, that was made by the Gnostics, okay. Origen, who was a Gnostic in the 3rd century, approximately the 3rd century AD, he had what you call a hexapla, where he had 4 to 5 or 6 different Septuagints in there, written by different men. So which Septuagint is he speaking of, and which Septuagint is the blue letter use?
All right. Now let's go back. I want to show you a couple more, just so you can see that I'm not making this stuff up. This is 1 Samuel 22:18, right? It says what here? It says, and the king said to Doeg, turn thou and fall upon the priest, and Doeg the Edomite turned. All right. So now let's scroll down here. Let's see where it says Doeg or pseudos. What's pseudos? Once again, pseudos.
Once again, is in the Septuagint when the King James translators did not use the Septuagint. They used the Masoretic Hebrew text to establish the word of the Most High. So what has to be investigated is the Masoretic Hebrew text, okay, and the Septuagint, okay. And why did the King James translators use the Masoretic Hebrew, which I just read? It was in the Septuagint. The reason why they used the Septuagint because it was inaccurate and inadequate and had many mistakes in it. Okay.
Syria. All right, right here, Syrian. So Doeg was Syrian. So for you Edomite lovers out there, this is some. I know this is some devastatingly bad news. But we've been telling you that. All right, now there's another one here.
Let me skip that. This
is in the 1 Samuel 22:22, and David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there. Right now, if you scroll down here, Doeg or pseudos, right, which is Syrian. All right, now that's one source that has it. This is Titus. This is another. This is the Septuagint also, the 70. And this is in the book of 1 Samuel, the 22nd chapter, and the 9th verse. And it says here, what? Doeg or pseudos. You scroll down to the 18th verse, and what do you have here again? Doeg or pseudos. You scroll down to the 22nd verse, what do you have here? Doeg or pseudos. So Doeg is Syrian, right? And the reason why that's important is because they translate.
Now, I know for a fact that Titus, Titus Septuagint is definitely Gnostic in its origin. The basis of Titus Septuagint is Gnostic. It's from the corrupt Gnostics and their translation of the Septuagint. And like I said, there were many Septuagints, and this is one of them in which Titus Septuagint gets his information from. He tells you from the Gnostics, from origin, from a certain period in history in which it was written, okay, 3rd century AD by the Gnostics. These were corrupt manuscripts, okay.
Is it Edomite, which they went off? We're going to get to that point because what happened is when you read the Strong's Concordance, right, and you go into the word Edomite, right, now the word Edomite is a Strong's Concordance number 130. And here it just says Edomite. I don't know if they're going to have it in this entry here as you read along, As you read along, it tells you, Edomite, descendants of Esau, Edom, blah, 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 right? Then when you read down...
Okay, notice that he stopped right there, okay?